Hey, gang. Michael Daniels. How's everybody doing? Doing a live stream from my Pixelbook in my house. So I'm back at trying this again just to kind of go over some things. Really, it's about you guys. If you guys have anything that you want to bring up, feel free to bring them up. I have some stuff listed. Not a lot, though. I only have like 6 things or something. So we're going to touch base on a couple of these, get into a chat about that. It's all about you guys. So feel free, anybody that wants to chime in with something that you got or you have that you know that's pretty cool or you're interested in, just let me know. I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm on my Pixelbook. I like to take it wherever I can. I'm actually on the house Wi-Fi, so hopefully the image is good, sound is okay. Hope everything's good. I'll be monitoring your chat as we go along, and it's kind of cool. I never set it up for a future event, so obviously it worked because it kicked in. And I think but it also set it up in my YouTube events. Really interesting. I didn't know that it could do all that, but I'm not real sure. Well, no, okay, yeah, so that worked. But anyway, I like to touch on this. First one I have is Google Lens. Has anybody been using that since the last time we talked? I'm curious if anybody has had an opportunity or tried to use Google Lens at all. I know since it's on Android 8 and higher, I think. I'm not sure, but I want to get your opinions. For me, I'm still having the same issues, still having the same things. It doesn't recognize everything that I try to get it to recognize. I've tried it with different things. Like one thing is kind of cool though that it does do is barcodes. It'll do a barcode. So if I have something like I want to add something to my grocery list, and I just click, I take that Google Lens and use the barcode. It'll pick that item up. That's really cool. I did that the other day with my wife. I'm showing her, hey, check this out. So I barcoded something. She's like, wow, that's pretty neat. She said, you don't even need QR code then, do you? I was like, no, And I also on Google Lens, something I tested out and tried the other day, it was really neat, was business card. I did that with a business card. That was really cool. So that's kind of neat to have those things that you can do that. Gave me an opportunity to put it in my contacts as well. So I like that. I love it. Ross says, I haven't caught up with all the tips yet. Yeah, the tips that she's talking about are tips that we in our paid for community. All of the members get a tip a day. And then we do our show on Wednesday night. And then Saturday we have an event that we do, a scheduled topic event that we do. This particular one is OBS, how to set up a show in an OBS and stuff. So that's what I got going on this one. All right, let's see here. Note 9 reviews. There's a lot of reviews out about the Note 9. I'm just curious if anybody that watches this or is watching this has a Note 9 or made that purchase, just to see what your thoughts are. There's good, bad. A lot of people like it. So I'm real curious to get some feedback on that if anybody has got a thing. I know there's plenty of reviews out there. Just checking on that. I saw this today, I believe in the news or something. Mom has a Note 9 and she loves kind of big though. I got you. Yeah, I think it's wonderful. I'm just curious on the Note 9, since you do have it. And you can ask your mom, or maybe you know this. I'm real curious, is the Google Assistant, do they have that feature built in through Chrome or something like that? Or is it something that you can get? Just curious. You can answer if you know. Larry, hey Larry, how are you? So speaking of OBS, have you used Streamlabs OBS? If you have, your thoughts. No, I have not jumped to Streamlabs OBS because I don't know of the features that I need on it. I am extremely comfortable with OBS. I set everything up in OBS and I use my Stream Deck to just push buttons to make each scene happen during the live show. That's what's kind of cool. And so I haven't had the need for the Streamlabs, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I know that it's great for gamers and stuff, like bringing up a new subscribed person and things like that. I tell you, and I wrote them a letter too. Streamlabs, I actually sent them a letter. I said, if they ever get where an individual comment, like your individual comment, I could put that up on screen wherever I want. If that ever comes into Streamlabs or something like that, you got me sold and I'd get it. Ross says, I got my Samsung Note 8 just before the Note 9 came out. I gotcha. The salesman didn't let me know there was a new one coming out within a month. I was not a happy Jan. Yeah, I bet. I could only imagine. Can only imagine on that. So I see. Okay. Yeah. Yes, it does. So thank you, Keenan. He says, yes, it does. I'm assuming that he's talking about on his notes, his mom's Note 9, that it does have the Google Assistant. That to me is a big deal. I love the Assistant. I have it all in my house. I mean, I have it throughout the house. I mean, it's crazy how much I use the Assistant all the time. I use it mobile, especially driving, so I don't have to text while driving or email while driving. I can actually answer and respond to my texts and emails using Google Assistant. That to me is huge. I use it at work. I use it. Sometimes people think I'm kind of weird talking to my phone, but it is what it is. Let's see. Google Assistant is on my old Samsung Galaxy S7. I now have an iPhone 8 Plus. Yeah. Yep. Oh, I know it's on that. I was just curious whether the Note 9 had it. Some tablets, usually Android tablets, have it depending on what Android version they have on it. So that makes total sense. Andrew says, I have read several reports about Streamlabs slowing systems down, but haven't actually used it yet. That's interesting because I heard just the opposite. Some of the OBS people, the OBS that have Streamlabs attached to it, actually said it helps on some of the CPU usage and stuff like that. But I could understand that because it's pulling up all these other little things, like when somebody subscribes or somebody gets a donation, and all the little features that it has with it. So I get that. Ross says, I may yet get a new iPhone for my work network. Gotcha. I understand that. Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. Keenan says the reports are true. It was using upwards to 73% CPUs. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that is. I mean, that definitely doesn't need. You don't need anything doing that or running that way. I'm real curious to see what it actually gives you extra. They say it's easier to run with, but see, I don't run it when I'm doing a show. I don't use that, like hit the buttons or hit the scene and go to those different things. I use my Stream Deck where I just hit a button that I know what it is and it goes right to it. So that's kind of cool. Let's see. This one's pretty cool. Google Photos coming out with live albums, it's calling it, which I don't know totally what that is, but what I am hoping is that I know it's collaboration, but I'm hoping that the photos are all searchable. Like I can't search other people's photos in an album using the facial recognition, for example, on Google Photos. I can find anybody that's in mine, but I have to download it onto which there's no cost on a downloaded photo, but I have to download it on mine in order to see that, in order to use the facial recognition. So I want to be able to have photo, yeah, search by photo in an album as well. And I don't know what collaboration they mean more than, maybe it means like actually people don't sharing and editing photos or something. I don't know. Within an album, maybe, I don't know, but it would be real interesting to see. I just love Google Photos. Probably the best from scratch app or tool that Google has created. I think, obviously not to search, but search is probably the best. But I'm real curious of people that are watching this or will watch this later. I'm real curious to hear how many of you use Hangouts, and how much do you use it, and why? Why still use it? I mean, what is the reasoning behind it? I know what Andrew's answer is going to be because he doesn't have a mobile phone, and this is where his social life is on the outside world. I get it. I'm just saying that Hangouts chat, I still use. I mean, I have text messaging. I try and ask people to come over to Hangouts or Allo because I love Allo. Again, because of Assistant, I just love Allo. But I try to, I know a lot of people got away from Hangouts, but I love Hangouts because I can have it on my computer or my phone. If my phone's over in the other room and I got my Pixel book, if I get a text message, I don't get that. I don't get it on my computer. I don't get SMS on my computer. So to me, there's a slowdown there. And I know everybody wants it now. They got to have it now, which is fine. I mean, I can get my text later or something like that. But it's just something about Hangouts. I get it on my phone. I get it on my, my Pixel book or my computer or whatever. I just really love the Hangouts. And it's been around so long, I guess, because I understand it. I like the app. I can immediately get in a video call with it. That's kind of a cool feature. Not that I use that much because I use Zoom more now, but I do like that. Just curious about that, if anybody that's watching later or anything. All right, so talking about Assistant, the one thing I did this week, two things I did in this past week. I added, I just found out you could do this because a company called TP-Link, I'm talking about Google Assistant now, they make switches. So I was able to put a switch in that controlled my whole downstairs. We have like 16 fluorescent lights up in the ceiling, and I was able to control that with one switch. That was extremely nice. So now I can just say, turn the downstairs lights on or turn them off, and that's great. Or if I forget to turn them off, instead of having to run downstairs, I guess it's for lazy people because that's me. And I added one I took out my Wemo light switch that I had in my bedroom because Wemo or Wemo, however you pronounce it, I was having issues with it. It wouldn't recognize it anymore. But the TP-Link just worked. So I replaced that one in my bedroom. And then in the hallway, we did the same thing with one in the hallway. So it's really cool. There's a lot of neat stuff that you can do. Andrew, I know you're probably having fun. Hey, Google, go dark. But you can actually say, hey, I'm leaving. And it automatically turns on like a small light and leaves everything else off. And then you can say it in your phone on your way home. I can use the keyword and say, I'm home now, or something like that. Whatever you can make routines that you give it, or I'm home, and it'll turn on all the lights that, your front light and whatever, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool to be able to do that. Let's see. Richard says, I can't get anyone to use Allo. I know. Richard, I'll use it with you, buddy. I know Mark Barris and I do all the time, and Heather does. Most friends of mine aren't on Google, so they use the SMS that comes on their phone. Sure, I get that. I've used it some, but not a lot. Not that I wouldn't, though. Yeah, I hear you. I totally get that. I understand that. I really love that app. I really wish they would have pushed and followed through with it. Just check the video option, which I'd forgotten is there. Yeah, I hear you. I know. It's really cool. Can you have the switching programmed so the lights on or off can be timed to music? That's a good question. No, you can't do that, so to speak. I don't think you can that I know of. Go on and off can be timed to music. So they turn on and off or turn a different color with themed music. I think that's what you're talking about. And if that's what you're thinking about, I don't know. But I know that I can say, when I say I'm home, I can turn on, or if I say good morning, I say the keyword and then good morning, it'll turn the certain lights on that I want. I can have it start playing NPR. I like to listen to NPR in the morning. You can have it play music in the morning, all that kind of stuff. You could actually have it start a coffee maker if you had one of the plugs. You could have it do that. It's really kind of cool. So I'm not totally sure what you're talking about, but I'm sure I'll find out. Yeah, honey, I'm home. I love it. You haven't tried Aloe yet. Okay. Terry says, I love Aloe. I agree, Terry. I'm telling you, Aloe is just so feature rich because I like being able to expand the text or shrink the text or add a GIF or just take a picture of yourself showing what mood you're in. You can verbally put the text message in and it'll do a transcript of what you just said. I mean, it's just awesome. It really is good stuff, and it keeps it. I can save that recorded file of the voice and put it back. So I love it. Ross says, I remember a movie ages ago that had lights going with the music. Oh, yeah. And that very well might be a possibility. I'm not going to do that. But call it boogie routine. Oh, the dog's barking. The wife might say, hey, shh, hush. Sophie, come here. Come here. Hey, sorry. Dog in the field, sorry. Stop it. Come here. Oh, beat that little girl. No, I won't. I won't do that. I would never do that. And let's see, watching on my phone at first. Yeah, there you go. Nice. I like that. There you go. Hey, Ross. Love the Aloe searches. I agree with that. That's one of the things that I fell in love with, too, was my son was coming in town. And when he is, before he gets here, we can meet him somewhere for dinner, like near town. But we could both, by saying, hey, what do you want for dinner or what you in the mood for? If he says, I would say Chinese or Mexican, assistant would pick all that up and give us some choices on his way and where we can meet. Really cool stuff. That's the kind of stuff that I love, the features that it can do. We were looking for in a stadium. We were at a ball game looking for a money machine. We needed some cash or whatever for one of the things. Same thing. You can find that by just doing an Aloe search right there. I mean, it was really great. Good stuff. Okay. Ross says it could have been a Lampoon movie. Love dogs. There you go. Well, good, Ross. You can have mine. No, I'm not going to give you my dog. Excuse me. Terry says live chat is really nice on mobile. No doubt. No doubt. I use the when I'm doing an Aloe message, just giving the verbal chat to someone, it just works really, really well. Yeah, I know. Exactly, Richard. You don't have to leave the app to do things in it. That is so true. That is so very true. That's what I really love about it, is that you don't have to go all over the place. A lot of the feature-rich stuff is right in there. And I don't even think we've expanded on how much the assistant actually could and can do for you. I don't think everybody uses all the features that it has in its potential. Yeah. Andrew says, sounds like an old commercial. Good. Google find me money. You can book reservations, see the menu, get address for the place, etc. Yeah, absolutely. All of that done in one place. The phone number's there. You can actually have Domino's Pizza will do a complete order on Google Assistant now. Seriously, I placed a whole order, and it gives you a reminder when they're 5 minutes out. It'll tell you, it'll ping you and tell you when, hey, just left the oven, then it just left the store, then 5 minutes out, they'll be here in 5 minutes. I mean, that kind of thing. It's really cool. Really neat stuff that they got going on. It's kind of crazy, but it's really cool. Almost scary in a way. But yeah, setting up those light switches. Oh my gosh. I realized how old my house is. Thank you to one of our community members, Bill Graham, because I had set up my phone on a tripod, and he walked me through, him being an electrician. Those of you that didn't know, he was an electrician. He helped me set up all my switches that I was doing, those 3 that I put in this week that I was telling you about. That was really cool. That was really awesome of him to do that. And it was great help. I mean, I was really nervous anytime it comes to, that's the kind of stuff that I miss about, what was it called? Something help. Oh, Google Helpouts. Google Helpouts. I miss that. That was really a cool thing, a cool concept, and a great idea. I know that I personally was in a Google Helpout with Sears, and they actually figured out my problem with my, was it washer? Yes, washer. It was the computer panel. They walked me through how to take it off. Then I sent it in. It was still under warranty, so I sent it in. They said when you send it back, just get back on with us, and we'll walk you through how to put it in. I mean, they gave me instructions with a video. I think it was even a YouTube video, but they said that, and we did that. I did that just because I wanted to see how that process would go. And they're like, oh, no, not that. You need to do this, that kind of thing. I loved it. It was just such a cool thing. I miss helpouts. I actually did a couple of helpouts. I did a Spanish one. I did a baseball rules one and something else. But it was fun doing those. I enjoyed doing that kind of stuff. Google stops all the good things. I know you're going to say inbox. I knew you were going to say that, inbox by Google. I know there's some people that are really upset about those bundles and stuff. Well, hey there, Christina. Christina is your real estate whisperer. It's awesome to see you. The other thing is really cool about Assistant too, as far as getting things done and stuff like that. I love the fact that you can give it personalized things. For example, I mean, I have fun with it too. When I have my kids over or something and stuff like that, I'll say, what's my dog's name? And then it'll tell me, and then I'll say, how old is Sophie? And then it'll tell me, and they're like, how in the world does Google know your dog's age? Stuff like that. I have fun with. I do some fun stuff. So I make sure whenever they're here, I do those I have a couple of those that I do. But it'll remember anything. One thing I like is, like, if we have you don't want to do it with passwords, but if you want to remember where you left something, like let's say your birth certificate, if you don't have a set place for that, I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying you need to do that. I could say, where is my birth certificate? And they said, it'll say, you said that you put it in the filing cabinet in the office next to the light switch, something like that. It's really cool that you can do those kind of things. I love that kind of stuff. I actually have it on my phone where I do have like the passcode to get into our gate at our Little League. So I can say, hey, what's the passcode to get in the gate at Northwood? And boom, it'll give me that number. That's the kind of stuff that is so cool to me that it can do, and that people don't take advantage of, is you can add things on like that, just different things. I mean, what are some of the cases, if you guys use that, What are some of the use cases that you have or things that you've done? Some cool things like that. Just let me know. Help hours were great. Too bad they didn't catch on. I agree with that, Andrew. Even if you have a set place and forget where that is, it helps. Exactly. I agree with you, Andrew. I mean, there's things like that. We'll do that kind of stuff all the time, for different things like that, where we try and remember where it is, or, hey, I need to remember. I like that too. Remember to do this. I'll even do that. And I said, when did I say this? Hey, Geeks on Tour, how are you guys doing? I use that for what is my mailman's name. That's a great one. There you go. See, I love that kind of stuff. See, to me, that's what's cool, is that you can do that kind of stuff. You don't have to put it to memory. And the older I get, the less I have to put up here. And I don't have any hair to hold it in. So that's good for me to be able to have those kind of things like what you're saying. You can do reminders. You can set appointments. You can do all that stuff. Assistant's great that way. I mean, it really is. It really saves you a lot of time. Add stuff to your calendar. There's some things it can't do. Like I want to say, and I haven't done this in a while, but maybe you guys can clarify this, but I can't, like if my wife and I have a shared calendar, like we call it a home calendar or something like that, I can't add a particular event to my home calendar because I want my wife and I both to see it, that kind of thing. That's the only thing that I don't like, because that would be kind of cool. So we could have it on the same one. So it shows up on hers, shows up on mine. So you're in Rocky Top, huh? How about you guys? There you go. That's right. Geeks on Tour or Game of Thrones. There you go. Richard, are you talking about the Google Assistant that comes with the phone or the one from the Play Store? I think they're one and the same, sir, unless I'm totally mistaken on that, but I think they're exactly the same. Missed that. How do I tell all to remember things? Basically, all you got to do is use the command, and then you say, my dog's name is Sophie. And then the next time I can say, and she'll say, okay, I'll remember that next time you say something. So then I'll say, okay, what's my dog's name? And then she'll say, like, I'll do it right now. See if she'll do it. Okay, Google, what's my dog's name?
You told me that your dog's name is Sophie.
She said, you told me that your dog's name is Sophie. And I'm sorry if I just set everybody's voice thing off, but Terry made me do it. So that's that. And then I said, and then I also have one, I use the command and then I say, what is my other dog's name? And she'll say, you told me that your other dog's name is Barkley. So she'll actually tell me that stuff. So it's really kind of cool that you can do that kind of stuff. Really neat. Google Assistant or Allo. I think either one will do that, if I'm not mistaken, Terry. It's a good question. Yes, got to watch that sometime. I don't know. We talked about that a little bit when she was on the show, when Chris was on the show. The app has the icon that is 3 dots. Okay. Not really dots, bubbles. Yeah. No, I know that. I mean, I know the app. But if I'm not mistaken, I think they're one and the same. They do the exact same thing. Does Google Assistant work across all the Google platform and apps? Well, it is an app in itself. So I'm not sure what you're talking about there across all Google platforms. When you say Google platforms, like I can ask it to play a YouTube video on my TV, but it's not really running YouTube or it's not controlling YouTube. I can ask it to send a text message for me, but not on the Google Assistant. I have to do that on my phone. Not sure what you mean. You might have to clarify. Geeks on Tour, she says, I have it on my iPhone. There you go. So it's an app that you can download on your iPhone. I'm assuming, is that what you're saying? As opposed to coming on the phone and having it built in. Maybe that's what Richard was talking about too. That's possible. But as far as what they do, okay, I got you. Yeah. Okay. Oh, as an app itself, I'm not sure either. I reckon I know what you're saying. I say, no, basically, Google Assistant, I mean, Google also, I mean, allows you to do that. I don't even know if you go to your Google on a browser. Yeah, it still has a microphone there. So as long as you have, you can still do a search by voice. So that's pretty interesting. Didn't realize that still was on there. Pixelbook is awesome. It has it built right in. That's really cool. So my Pixelbook pen, I can actually circle something, like a picture of something, and it'll pull up that place. It'll show me some ideas of what. It's a great search tool that way. It's really kind of neat. So it's not embedded in every part of Google stuff. No, Gmail is not embedded in. No, not at all. No, Allo is the only thing that it's actually built into, and they stopped doing Allo. So, and let's see. Terry says, so Allo is like a social version of Google Assistant. Actually, I don't know if it's a social version of it. It's just included in it. It's a part of it. They include the assistant. It was supposed to be their messaging service that they wanted everybody to switch over to, which is that has the assistant built right in. And I love that. I really do. I wish there was a way to get SMS into that, but I don't know that that'll ever happen because all these other SMS carriers you'd have to get with Verizon and all the different AT&T and all the different branches and stuff like that. So I don't know that it would ever be able to switch and add that into their particular program. I'm not sure. I love this chat though. This is good. You guys are awesome out there. I'm going to keep talking with you, so keep going about it. Gboard has some of the assistant features. Gboard actually has some of the, it doesn't allow you to use assistant though, that I know of. Gboard has features like the GIF, being able to bring GIF and icons and stuff like that, but I don't think it allows you any of the assistant stuff as far as like talking to it and that sort of thing. Unless I'm mistaken, unless there's something. I am drinking I'm not allowed to say. It's a diet. No, I'm just kidding. Correct. Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't have any of the assistant fun stuff. Like where you're able to speak to it. And that's to me what is the selling point as far as that. And it doesn't have, like, you can't pull up assistant stuff like getting help with, in Gboard anyway, that I know of. You can't get help with like the stuff that Richard was talking about earlier with the directions to the place, what hours they are, the map part of it, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there you go. Hops in Nature. There you go. Homeopathic blue juice. That's right. You guys got my drink down. There you go. The last thing I have on my list that I'm going to put out there, but you guys keep talking. If you want to talk Assistant, I could talk all day on Assistant. But the new Chrome browser, since it was Chrome's birthday, they came out with a new Chrome browser version 69, I believe is the latest one. Let me know if you have that, if you've already uploaded that and have that. Some devices haven't gotten it, but it is for desktop computer. There is a new Chrome browser. What do you think of it? What do you think of the new look? Do you like it? It has, instead of the squares, it has little circles now, little small circles. When you go to type in google.com, it also has a more squared tabs at the top. There's a lot of features. Well, not a lot of features, but a lot of different features just to show that they're new. Ross says, not quite used to it yet. Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale, drink of choice here in Rocky Top. There you go. There you go. Can you use the assistant to make a hands-free phone calls, putting it on speaker? Yes, you can on my Google Home. On my phone, you can make a phone call. Yes. all you do is you just say the command, and then you say, hey, call mom on speakerphone, and boom, it does it. It does it for you. It'll turn on your phone, speakerphone, and make the call. So yes, you can do that. I will say this is my thing. I'm going to throw this out there. I think it would be a cool thing if Assistant for your phone, because you can only do certain things on your phone and certain things on your Assistant. For example, I can't text message on my Google Home, but I can text message on my Google phone, Pixel phone. So what I wish there was a command for either or. If I said okay and the keyword GOOGLE, or if I said okay mobile, something different. I don't care what it is. I would like to have two distinguishing things. So that way my phone knows I'm talking to it, and my Google Home or other device knows I'm talking to it. That's what I want to be able to do. Yes, also new Chrome OS 69 for Chromebooks and boxes. Really? So I do not have on my Pixel book, I have 68. I cannot upgrade to 69. It has not come out yet. So that's very interesting to know. I wonder why. Ross says, I've never tried the voice commands. Well, that to me is like a selling point. I love that, because I do a lot of things by voice just because I'm lazy and I'm a bad typer. It just happened this morning. Good, Andrew. That's good to know. When I get out of here, I'm not going to do it now, but when I get out of here, first thing I'm going to do is go try and get my update for my Chrome, my Pixel book, because it still has the little triangle looking tabs as opposed to the squared off ones. So I need to check that out. Had it for a few days. Oh yeah? On what? You've had it on what? I'm on my phone. Don't see a like button. Like button. Okay. Everyone watching, hit like. How about a thumbs up? Thumbs up would be good, right? We can do that. Let's see. And spelling. That is correct, Terry. You know me well. Spelling is a big issue. That's a big deal. So yeah, I do have my issues there. So yeah, so for voice, I love using Google Voice to learn how to spell. Like if I don't know how to spell a word, I'll ask it. I'll say, how do you spell such and such? And I love, talked about this in one of my tips inside of our community, a paid for community that we have. It's awesome, where you can learn tips every day. I think it was the latest tip that I actually did. Andrew could correct me if I'm wrong, because I think he was on there. But I actually, with Spanish, I use that back and forth. It's so awesome being able to have two languages now on the Google Assistant. I can go back and forth with my Spanish stuff. It's fantastic. That's how I learn new words. I say, how do you say, bark in Spanish? Because it's not a word you use all the time. So I'll learn that, and then I'll say, oh, that's cool. And then I'll say, spell it. I'll say, how do you spell that? And then they'll spell it out. I love that, being able to spell and things like that. So so maybe I didn't hear it right, but by them spelling it out, it's really kind of cool. So that's kind of neat. I love that kind of stuff. Yeah, multilingual. Andrew was on that one when I did it the other day. It really is. It's really kind of cool that you can go back and forth with it. It's kind of like you could have your own tutor that way. You really can. That's the way I used it. I know when I told the assistant community manager, I'm top contributor and assistant, and when I told him about that, he said, "Oh, that's an awesome use case. I've never heard that." I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I can teach myself words. I can say it in Spanish and then say it in English, or say it in English, trying to find out what the words are, and then try and get them to spell the word, and then turn around and say, okay, then try it in Spanish and see if I got it right. And if I got it right, then it'll translate properly back to me. So that's really awesome. I love that. Showed up on the Mac. I don't have Chrome on my Samsung. Phone call she's taking. Okay. Yes, multilingual is neat. I have the 69 version of my Chrome on my $80 phone. There you go. Perfect. How about that? You're ready to go then. You're ready to rock and roll. Let's see here. I think that's everything that I have here. I do want to say I love having guests on and having people on because I always learn stuff from them. And Geeks on Tour, who's in here, they do a great job with, what does this button do and stuff. I recommend anybody go out there and go watch their stuff. Go watch, excuse me, go watch some of their stuff because it's very informative. And I love the way Chris teaches. Every time you come on my show, I really do appreciate that. And you do a great job with it. Matter of fact, I think, what was your last thing? I get the newsletter as well, and I try to watch or look at some of those too that they have on there. I can't remember. It was something with iOS, maybe. I can't remember. But anyway, feel free to put that in here, Chris. I don't have a problem with that. All about vehicles asking about being on the game on the plus word. I don't know. I would say 18 at least. Richard, and the buttons show off theirs. Yeah, exactly. Oh, shucks. Thanks. No, I mean it. You guys are awesome. I love the way you teach and show, and you're very explicit, very clear, very visual. It's a good way. It's a perfect way to learn, actually. So I do appreciate you. And seriously, you let them know your community or whatever you have, your website. That's fine. I think it's Geeks on Tour. Feel free to do that because I think it's a very informative thing, and she does some great stuff teaching people, big sessions that she does and stuff where she's teaching both of them. I mean, I give credit to both of you, but Chris is usually the one on screen. So, and Jim's behind the scenes. There you go. Andrew says, I try to watch. I don't have a phone. No, I get it. You don't have to have a phone. No. We know you don't have a phone, Andrew. We know you don't have a phone. All right, that's been 42 minutes. I think I'm going to kind of wrap it up. I always like to do some of these every once in a while to have one where I get on and do the just a free for all kind of thing. I like to do those every once in a while. I love to have guests on. To me, it's important to have guests because you're not just sitting here listening to me and reading comments and stuff. I like to have guests on because we can both go back and forth. But love to have, love having people on. We'll keep doing it. Yeah, unscripted, live and unscripted. There you go, Andrew. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say, Christina. I enjoy chatting stuff up and everything. I enjoy talking. I mean, except drives my wife nuts, but yeah. One thing I like to do is if I have something up here, I like to get it out there for everybody else. So I like to teach and show people things like that. Teaching more about video editing these days. Okay, that's good stuff. Geeks on Tour. Just so you know, too, folks that don't know this out there, I'm a top contributor for Google. What that means is that I go into their Hangout community. That's where I started. And I answered a bunch of questions. And what they do is they make you, man, you know what? You're like an expert. We're going to put you, we make you a top contributor. So with that, I get a chance once a year to go out to Google. They give us, that's kind of what their thank you is. So Chris, I actually met Chris last year at last 2 years. Yes, last 2 years at the summit. Andrew was fortunate enough to meet her as well. And so that's kind of cool. That's, to me, is building that community and seeing those people and learning that kind of stuff. That's what's a lot of fun. I love helping people. I love it with a passion. Everything I do, I try to teach somebody something all the time. Hopefully tonight when you came on, you learned one thing, one good thing or whatever. So let's see what everybody's saying here. God, I need to watch soon. Yeah, you do. You definitely do. You need to watch them. You'll be at Google conference in Mountain View right? Yes, I will be there this year. She says, I'll see you this year too. So that's awesome. I mean, that's just a cool thing to be able to see and meet some friends and have some of these people that I bring on the show. I know I'm a big Google geek, but that's a great phrase right there, Christine, that you put. Yes, love, build community too. Exactly. Building the community is what it's all about, building that up and getting it where it is. So she says, are you still using the Smooth? Yes, I am. And I will bring that along with me. I just have to be careful. Anytime it's a weird looking gadget and you're trying to go through an airport, both times I had to pull it out of the bag and all that kind of stuff just to make sure, which I'm fine with. They have to check because they didn't know what it was. I kept saying, yeah, it's got like 3 gimbals on it, all this kind of shit. They're like, what's a gimbal? So it was kind of a fun challenge, but I'll try and video as much as I can with that. I love that, having that, because it makes it so smooth. It really does when I'm out there doing the videos of stuff and interviewing some of the people that I've actually had on the show and stuff like that. And then she's going to bring hers. Good. One of these days I'll use it. Well, cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I plan on doing a show. I mean, while we're out there the Halloween. I think Halloween is the first night, which is the 31st. So I'll do my show, maybe. What time would that be? What is in California? Mark, you got to help me out. I guess that would be 5 o'clock California time. So 5 o'clock California time, I'll be doing my show. So I'll get as many of the people on there at 5:47 right now. Thank you. Okay. So my 8 o'clock show while I'm in California, I'll be doing it at 5 o'clock. So I'll be out there with that, probably doing it just like this, a live stream, just showing people and talking to people. And, 5-ish. There you go. Thank you, Mark. I just want to, like this, like what Christina said, the community part of it, being able to have people talk and have that stuff. Plus Word is on Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Everything for me is Eastern. Yes. You're Eastern. So yes, it's 10 p.m. Do that every Friday night. So we'll do that. We'll definitely do that. That's one thing that I think would be a really cool show, actually, is to have all kinds of different top contributors that have been on the show and can kind of give their input about the event and see who's been on the show, who maybe could be on the show. That's kind of cool. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to this year. This year being searches, is this 20th year? Yeah, started in 1998, right? Google search started in 1998. So this is 20th birthday. Wow. 20th birthday for Google search. 10th birthday for Google Chrome. Wow. A lot of stuff happening this year. So this is going to be cool. Going to be neat. I'm looking forward to it. So it should be a good time anyway. So, folks, I think that's it. That's all I got for tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. I love talking about these subjects. I love having guests on here. I'm glad you guys tuned in. In the comments, though, before I end it, or no, you can put it in afterward too, whatever you want to do. Tell me how you got notified. Like, did you get an email? Do you get email notifications for your YouTube when I go live? Or did you just happen upon it? Were you on YouTube at the time and you said, hey, Michael's live, I'm going to come on? So let me know. I know. Okay, so I just said Google search and assistant popped up. That's funny. I love it. Through the bell notification, that's good. Sweet dreams. Thank you, Terry. Terry, how'd you find out about me being on? Just curious. I'd like to know how you guys find out when I'm on. I'm just curious to how it reaches out to the community and stuff. I'll have to be careful on what I say then, huh, Mark? Because I don't want things to go that way. Good to see you later. I got a notification in my iPhone, clicked on it, and here you are. There, perfect. That's great. Got a note with the bell on the phone. Good, excellent. I love to know that stuff. And Andrew says, I also get an email notification. Got an email, Richard. Good. That's cool. That's awesome. I'm glad that that's working. I mean, for whoever, however you guys get notified, that's fantastic. So I'm going to end this. I will do a Zoom live stream I always do it after every show. You guys can come in and talk to me for 5-10 minutes or an hour or whatever you want. We'll talk a little bit. No problem. Mark says I have push notifications, so it showed up on my lock screen. Cool. That's awesome. I love it too. But community members, feel free to join me for the after show if you so desire. I will be here. You can join the Zoom talk all about vehicles if you join our community. It's a paid-for community. So again, I don't know for 16-year-olds whether that would work or not. I don't know how all that works, but I'd have to look into something there. I didn't hear my audio on it, though. There you go. I hear you. You had it turned down, didn't you? I hear you, Richard. So let me, I will get that link together, put it in the community, and you guys come on over and join me. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. Those that are coming later and see this and you have comments or add comments, feel free to reach out to me. Glad to talk to you about it. Thanks.